lights, cameras in my face. Hands on the stand, trying to plead her case. Said it was love, but it smelled like a scheme. Trading a husband for a teenage dream. Hands on trial, scandals burning hot. Teacher with a plan, but she got caught. Hands on trial, verdict in the air. Justice is coming, better say your prayer. Hands on trial. Whispers loud, jury's taking notes. Star witness, kids in the Sunday coats. Bang of a gavel, lies start to crawl. She wanted romance, he ended it all. Hands on trial, scandals burning hot. Teacher with a plan, but she got caught. Hands on trial, verdict in the air. Justice is coming, better say your prayer.
Hello, everyone. How are you? What's Thursday? Sorry, I am lost. My voice is not great, so I will not be talking much tonight. Yeah, fall, I guess. Whatever. I don't know. But we'll get it. We'll make it through. I thank you, Baker, for sleepwalking and hitting like on my stream. I appreciate it. I hope you are getting some rest because you are a very, very busy man. What's up, Lavi? How are you? Hope you are well. And Tracy's making dinner. What are you making, Tracy? What she liked. Thank you. And Dog Mom is here. Hello, Dog Mom. And hey, AJ, hey. Hey, Gabby, hey. What's up, Carmen? I texted Carmen earlier. I'm like, are you alive? Because I hadn't heard from her all day, which is weird. And she said, no. Why? I just texted her back and said, just checking, and then sent her a ghost. I was like, I'm a ghost. Thanks, Carmen. I do have, since like this weekend's the holiday weekend, and it's, the unofficial last weekend of summer, I do have an outro video that is ode to Corn Sweat, because I just found out this year that corn sweat is a thing. It exists and it's real. And I've lived around corn my entire life, and it's weird to me that I've never, ever, ever heard of it. So make sure you stick around for that one. The video is really just a lot of corn, but I like the lyrics. I do say so myself, but it's a little longer than my normal outro is like 45 seconds. This one it's like a couple minutes. So I know I tried to shorten it, but I couldn't because I'm not that talented. So anyway, back to Pam Smart. This is the very first trial that was aired on live television, gavel-to-gavel. Pam Smart was a 23-year-old, was a 23-year-old woman at the time. I think she was a media teacher. She got involved with some high school students, had an affair with a 15-year-old boy, allegedly convinced them to unalive her husband, Gregg Smart. Obviously, they got caught. So she was wrong in a whole bunch of ways. Don't touch kids ever. I don't care how old they are. And don't unalive people. and don't have other people unalive people. What we saw in openings were the defense is going to try to lay this all on the accomplices, and probably mainly on Billy Flynn, who is the young man she had the alleged affair with, and who is the alleged unaliver of Mr. Smart. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. We do hear from the 3 accomplices, and well, there's 4 listed, but I don't know much about the 4th one. I don't recognize that name. Well, I don't recognize any of the names. I don't remember this trial. I was getting ready to graduate high school when this one happened. So this happened in March of 1991, and then Betty happened. It ended in November of 1991. So 1 and 2 trials that I was in school for one, out of school for the other. But I do remember it happening, and it's just a lot of craziness. Your mindset in high school is like, why would he be so dumb to do that with a teacher? Like, they're old. And then now I'm just like, she was just stupid for doing that. Hey, Ruthie, you're on time. You're not late. You're right on time. What's up, old soul? How are you? It's good to see you. Absolutely. She was like the first major one to get caught. And I'm thinking about doing hers as well, because that one like never ended. She died, like she passed away. Then it ended, I guess. But that one is so weird. Everything that happened with that case. So I'm thinking about throwing that one in there. I have to see how long it is, because I don't want to get into something that's going to, Betty took a long time. I don't want to get into something that's going to take like 6 months to get through, because we're all going to get kind of burned out on that. And I don't want to do that. So today we have 3 officers. We have one of the officers that showed up on the scene, and the other 2, I don't know what they did, because it doesn't say. It's like, this officer showed up on the scene. I'm going to assume they were there as well. I kind of, Gabby, you would have loved this, but I didn't listen to it, but I put it on 1600 speed, because I just wanted it to go through and make sure that they didn't show any photos like they did in Betty's trial. They do pass them around. I don't think we get a good look at anything, but just be aware, we could. But I don't think so. Not like Betty's. Like, Betty's was right in our face. So I think we'll be okay. I have it sped up just a touch, and I think I have the sound where it was last time. Unfortunately, it like resets on me every time. So let me know if I need to adjust anything one way or another, and we'll get started and get going here.
Good morning. In a nice clear voice, would you please state your name so that everyone in the jury can hear? Please spell your last name for the stenographer.
My name is Joe Scaccia. That's Scaccia.
Mr. Scaccia, are you employed?
Yes, I am.
And by whom are you employed?
The town of Derry.
What is your job in the town
I'm
of
a
Derry?
patrolman for the police department.
How long have you been a police officer with the Derry Police Department?
Approximately 4 years and 7 months.
And calling your attention to May 1st, 1990. Were you working that day?
Yes, I was.
And what shift were you working?
I was working the 3 to 11 shift. That's 3 in the afternoon to 11 at night.
Did you have occasion, let me rephrase that. Calling your attention to around 10 o'clock that evening. Did you have occasion to take any official police action?
Yes, I did.
What action was that?
I was called to go to Misty Morning Drive, Section 4.
What time did you receive that call?
It was 22:15, 10:15 at night.
And who was with you at that time?
I was by myself, alone in a cruiser.
Now, how far from 4 Misty Morning Drive were you when you received this call?
I believe I was only about 30 to 45 seconds away. I wasn't too far away.
Can you tell us what happened when you got there?
When I arrived at the section of fours of the condo unit, I was met by a small crowd right in front of the section of four.
When you say section of four, what do you mean?
They're condo units, but they're grouped together in like 4 or 5 condo units in one section, and they're grouped. Say 1A would be one section, 2B would be another section, and so forth.
Now, when you say you were met by a small group of people, how many people were you met by?
Approximately 15 to 20.
And where were they all standing in relationship to this group of 4 condominium units?
They were standing, as I pulled in the parking lot, they were off to my right if I was facing the unit in the walkway area in front of the units.
Now, did anyone in particular approach you?
Yes, a female approached me.
And did you identify herself?
She identified herself as Mary Jane Woodside, a neighbor.
And what happened then?
She told me that there was a man lying in unit 4E.
What did you then do?
I, in a hurried fashion, went up to unit 4E.
And when you went into unit 4E, was there anyone with you?
Mary Jane Woodside was just behind me.
And when you got to unit 4E, what happened next?
As I approached the front doorway, the door was open. I looked in and I saw a man lying on the floor.
Now, when you say you approached the doorway and the door was open, how many doors were there, do you recall?
There were 2.
And were both doors open?
The front door was wide open, the inner door and the screen door was closed.
When you got to apartment 4E, were there any lights on or off?
There was one light on.
And do you recall which light that was?
The foyer light, just as you walk in, the light above that small hallway.
Now, I'd like to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit Number 1. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
All right.
Can you tell us what that is?
That is the section of 4E's Misty Morning Drive, 4.
And which one of the 4 sections of Misty Morning Drive did you respond to?
The one first to the right,
That's it.
4E.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of the layout of the condominium units as you saw it that night?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I'd like to move this down to State's Exhibit Number 1.
Is it the mark?
Yes, all of the pictures at this point have been moved into evidence.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was just marked right there. With the court's permission, Your Honor, I'll just walk it by the jury.
All right.
So there's a time when he's doing this or the woman prosecutor is doing this, and the cameraman really tries to get an angle on the picture. You can I see on one of them, I think it's Gregg's body, but again, it's nothing like we saw in Betty. Tracy. Might have been.
Now, officer, as you got to the front door, were you able to see the body from the front door?
Yes, I was.
As you looked into the apartment, was there anybody else inside the apartment at that time?
No, there wasn't.
I'd like to show you what's been introduced as State's Exhibit Number 3 and ask if you recognize it.
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize that to be?
That is a view looking from the front door into the unit 4E.
Fair and accurate representation as you saw it that night?
Yes, all except for one small item.
When you say one small item, let me clarify that. Is there something in this picture that wasn't in this picture when you first got there?
Yes, it's 2 pens placed on the floor floor that we, Patrolman Twist placed there later to, there were some smudge marks there. We didn't want to.
So you wanted to preserve them by putting the pens down to
Correct.
warn, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, Your Honor, I'd like to walk this by the juries as well. Want to get an opportunity? Is there glare when I do this? Please let me know.
Yes, that's the jury.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about these older trials. We'll get a better look at them later. It's not as bad as Eileen Warnos's trial, but they don't hide them. Of course. That Betty trial made sure of one thing. I don't have a squeaky door in my house anymore. I have 3 and they're gone. They got WD-40'd.
Now, officer, this mat that is in the bottom of the photograph, that's the position you found it in when you first walked in? I'm sorry, I'm not being fair to you. Is that basically how you recollect it being?
I'd have to say basically I recall it being in that area.
And the billfold at the bottom of the stairs?
Yes, that's exactly where I found it.
Now, can you tell us what happened when you proceeded? Well, let me rephrase that. What did you do next?
After going through the front door, I went up and I felt for a pulse, see if I could obtain a pulse on the man lying on the floor.
And who was with you at this time?
As I said earlier, Mary Jane Woodside was right behind me, just a step behind me.
Why was Mary Jane Woodside with you?
She just came in right behind me.
Can you tell us, after you felt his pulse, what happened next?
I didn't feel a pulse, and Mary Jane Woodside stated she knew CPR and she would assist me. Then got behind the man lying on the floor, and I started to roll the person backwards as if I was going to put him on his back. At that time, I noticed a severe head wound to the top of the man's head, and I put the person back, I would say as close to the position as I could, as where I found him, and I told Mary Jane Woodside to leave the building.
Now, when you felt that individual's pulse, what part of his body did you feel?
The right wrist.
Now, where were you standing in relationship to the body when you took this pulse?
I would have been still in the foyer area in front of the body.
At the time that you were standing at the door looking at this body, were you able to notice any wound of any kind?
No, I wasn't.
When you walked up to this body and you knelt down and reached out to the right wrist to feel its pulse, were you able to notice at that time any wound?
My attention was drawn to his nose. There was blood coming from the nose, and there was some on the floor just beneath it.
Did you see that nosebleed from the door?
I don't recall seeing it from the door, no.
And after you felt no pulse, you then rolled the body over.
Yes, I got behind the body. I repositioned myself. I was now in what you consider the dining room, and I knelt down behind the body. And as I said, I only moved the body 3 inches at the most.
And was there anyone else with you at this time?
Just Mary Jane Woodside.
I'd like to show you what's been introduced into evidence. State's Exhibit number 5. That's if you recognize it.
Excuse me.
Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize it to be?
The man I found lying on the floor the night in question.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure everyone hears you as you speak in the mic, even though I'm sitting next to you, officer. And is that the position you found him in when you got there?
Yes.
Now, I noticed that there is a paper towel and appears to be a blue towel in this photograph. Are those positions, those items were in when you responded?
Exactly. Yes.
And was this the position you started from when you first started to turn him over?
Yes. I knelt behind him at this point.
Now, it appears that under his head there is a red stain of some sort. Were you able to see that red stain as you approached the body?
No, I was not. I was more keyed into the small stain beneath his nose.
And when was the first time you noticed that stain?
As soon as I start to roll the subject back.
Your Honor, the court's commission would like to publish this to the jury as well.
All right.
Just show it to the court.
All right, this is the one. The cameraman's really going to try to get in on there. I think that's the best we're going to see, though.
I have a picture in such a way that the glare is bad. After you noticed this head wound, officer, what happened next?
I advised Mary Jane Woodside to leave the condo unit.
And after you advised her to leave the condominium unit, what happened next?
She left, and just as she was leaving, Patrolman Twist, my backup, showed up along with 2 EMTs,
You say EMTs.
the emergency medical technicians.
And what happened when the 2 emergency medical technicians showed up?
They came up and they also felt for a pulse, and they advised me that the person was deceased.
And when they felt for a pulse, did they disturb the body to any extent?
No, they didn't.
And how long did it take for the EMTs to come in and feel for a pulse?
Seconds. It wasn't very long.
And after the EMTs felt for a pulse, what happened next?
They also left, and I secured the front door.
When you say you secured the front door, what do you mean?
By that time, Sergeant Tokai had also showed up, and
Sergeant?
Sergeant Tokai, T-O-K-I, had showed up, and he stood by the front door, and I shut the front door and just shut the door. He guarded it by being on the outside.
And who's left inside?
Myself and Patrolman Twist.
Now, besides you, Patrolman Twist, and Sergeant Tokai, were there any other law enforcement personnel there that you knew of?
I believe there was. I'm not sure who it was, but I believe there was another patrolman in the rear of the condo on the outside.
What did you and Officer Twist then do?
We conducted a search of the condo unit.
When you say you conducted a search, what were you looking for?
A possible perpetrator, anybody that would be in the condo at the time.
So was this a search for evidence or a search for safety purposes?
Safety at that time.
Now, you were in uniform, is that correct?
Yes.
Was Officer Twist in uniform?
Yes.
Now, when you conducted this search, were your guns drawn or undrawn?
Drawn.
So both your guns were out?
Yes.
And where did you start your search?
We did a search of the first floor first.
When you say the first floor, is that the floor you walked into?
Yes, that's correct.
And can you tell us what you noticed about the first floor as you walked around at that time?
We could observe that it apparently had been ransacked. There were items strewn about, items on the floor. It was in disarray.
How long did it take you to search the first floor?
It's a small area. It probably took no more than a minute or 2.
After you searched the first floor, what did you then do?
We went to the second floor.
For the second floor?
Yes.
And can you tell us what you noticed about the second floor?
Again, we found like the master bedroom to be in disarray. Items were taken out of drawers. Items were found on the floor. We searched the second floor at that time.
Now, when you searched the second floor, and the first floor for that matter, did you disturb any of the things that you saw?
No, we did not.
Did you have to open any doors or anything along those lines?
Yes, we did. We opened up a few doors to gain entry to rooms and also closets.
Now, when you searched the first floor, did you happen to notice whether or not there were any entrances or exits on the first floor?
Yes, I did.
And which ones did you notice?
Excluding the entranceway that I came into, there was an exit going out the living room that would go out into the back area, back porch.
And was that open or closed?
It was open approximately 4 to 5 inches.
Now, after searching the first floor and the second floor, where did you then go?
Patrolman Twist took a quick look in the attic, poked his head up through, and we went downstairs into the cellar.
Can you tell us what happened when you opened the door on the way into the cellar?
Yes, as I opened up the cellar door, the door opened away from my body, and as I stepped on what would be the platform of the cellar stairs, there was a small dog hidden behind the door as I opened it.
And how small? Can you give us an idea with your hands?
Type of like a Pekingese type of dog. I'm not sure what type it was, but it was a smaller dog.
The record reflected when this held his hand about 15 inches apart or so. And what was that dog doing when you found it behind the door?
It wasn't doing actually anything. It was very quiet. I didn't even notice it was there at first.
After you opened up the cellar door, what did you then do?
We searched the cellar.
And when you searched the cellar, did you open any doors?
Yes, I opened up a door that led to the bulkhead area.
And when searching that door that led to the bulkhead area, was it open, closed, locked, unlocked?
It was closed, and I don't believe there was a locker on the door. I can't say for sure, but I know it was unlocked.
And when you checked, after going through that door, did you check the bulkhead door?
I just checked to see what condition it was in. It was closed at the time. I did not know if it was locked or unlocked.
So you didn't try to open the door?
No, I didn't.
All right, now, after checking the cellar, what did you then do?
I went back upstairs and stood by the body
You say you stood by the body. What for?
to make sure that it wouldn't be disturbed.
And what was your function at this point?
Just to guard over that body and to make sure that the scene would be preserved.
Now, during this time, did you make any notifications to the Derry Police Department?
Yes, I was recording. Do you mean did I call anybody or?
Yeah, I guess that's a fancy way of saying, did you call back and say you got a problem here?
Yes, that was done right in the beginning when I came in.
Now, did there come a time when other people arrived?
Yes.
And how long after you got there and made this call was it before people started arriving?
I believe the detectives and such, they came in approximately about 40 minutes after I was there.
And after the detectives came in, what did they do?
They just walked through the scene, walked through the area, observing it.
And what was your role or function at this point?
To record the people that are coming in and out of the complex and to, again, make sure nobody touched anything.
Now, as these detectives came in, did you observe them? Were they touching the items thrown about the room, or were they coming in and just seeing the layout?
Not that I saw.
And were you inside the entire time?
I was inside till 2:25 in the morning.
So from the time you started watching the body to 2:25 in the morning, you were inside, is that correct?
That's correct.
And during that time, you were doing what?
Just watching over the body and recording who's coming in and out.
Now, as you were doing that, did anyone else besides law enforcement personnel come into the condominium unit?
Not until 2:25.
Did any medical personnel come in?
Yes, Gino Nairo,
So what happened at 2:25? Did you say PM or AM?
AM.
So you're talking about maybe 4.5 hours.
Yes.
What happened at 2:25 AM?
I turned the scene over to the state police task force.
When you say state police task force, what are you referring to?
They have a crime unit, major crime unit that deals with these certain situations, and they responded to the scene.
And was your understanding they were going to process the crime scene?
Yes.
Did anyone from Derry, to your knowledge, before that time, process that scene?
No.
Now, after you turned over the crime scene to the state police, what did you do?
I then just stood on the front steps till 4 o'clock in the morning. Again, just watching over who was coming in and out of the complex.
Now, did you have occasion to see the defendant that night?
I can't testify that as I saw her. I was told that it was her later, but I can't testify that I actually saw her.
And did you see anyone matching her description?
I can't even say that.
Well, what was the person doing that you thought later on was told the defendant?
I heard her screaming. I heard a person screaming.
And where was she?
Female. I believe it was 2 doors down at 4C, in front of unit 4C.
Anything in particular her saying while she was screaming?
No, I was inside too quick.
And how long did that process take for you to get inside?
5 seconds at the most.
Just one moment. No further questions?
Morning, officer.
Morning.
Just to follow up on that a little bit. In fact, the reason you were there at all was because you got a report that there was a woman screaming outside of those apartments.
Exactly.
Okay, and the very first thing you observed when you got there, before you were met by this crowd or the other woman you mentioned, was you saw a woman screaming in front of those apartments.
That's correct.
That was the woman that was later identified, you were told, was Pamela Smart.
I was told that it was her.
And she was screaming as you were there at other times, correct?
Pardon me?
Did you hear her screaming later on?
No, I was involved in the.
You were inside. As you go in, there was a towel there. I'm not sure. In this picture, which is states exhibit number 5, there was a towel there, correct?
Yes, it was a blue towel, a bath towel, and like a paper towel also.
Now, this particular picture was taken after you'd already moved Gregg Smart, correct?
That's correct.
Can you describe to the people in the jury how it appeared, the placement of the towel, how it appeared to you when you first got there before you moved in?
Before I moved the body, it appeared that the towel was pushed up against the head, and it was up against the backside of the head.
It appeared that somebody had actually pressed it against the head, didn't it?
It looked that way.
You also, in this picture, there's a gold candlestick by his foot. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Bear with me for a second. Go ahead, Ms. Mark, for identification, Your Honor. I'm not sure this is.
There was a ton of hairspray and a ton of hair in that courtroom, except for him.
That, for the record, is state C for ID. Does this appear to you to be the, consistent with the candlestick you saw? Why don't you grab it? I'm not sure that's anyone. I'll get you the picture.
It does appear to be the one that was found.
Could you, I'll take that back. First of all, describe that candlestick, what shape it's in now.
Loose.
It appears to be broken in the sense that it's shaking and may not stand up.
It's loose.
Okay, the base is loose.
Yes.
Okay. I'll take it back. Could you hold up the picture and tell the people in the jury where this broken candlestick was found, where you first saw it?
Just for testimony, I found it underneath his foot on a floor, just beneath the tile area.
Let me go back to that towel for a second. Did you ever determine where that towel came from?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever check the upstairs bathroom to see if it was consistent with the towels hanging in the upstairs bathroom?
I checked the bathroom, but I didn't make note of that.
Do you know whether anyone else did?
Excuse me?
Do you know whether anyone else did?
Object.
I'll withdraw those. Was there some paper toweling you found somewhere?
Yes, I found that on the dining room floor by his leg,
Okay. By his leg, near the candlestick?
on the opposite leg.
Okay. Did you ever make any effort to determine where that paper toweling came from?
No, I did not.
When you rolled Mr. Smart over and saw that wound, did you know that was a gun wound?
No, I didn't.
Was it consistent with anything else in your training?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, did you think it was a gun wound, perhaps I should say? That's what the conclusion you came to.
At the time, at that initial point, I didn't try to determine what kind of a wound it was, just that it appeared that it was a live wound.
You mentioned earlier that there was another officer, I think his name was Twist.
Patrolman Twist, yes.
He was dispatched at the same time you were dispatched, and got there, what, a minute or two after you?
Correct.
Okay, he came with 2 EMTs.
Yes.
Okay, was the original dispatch that's sent there, did that tell you that somebody was injured?
The original dispatch was just go to the Unit 4, reference a woman screaming.
Okay, well, why the EMTs, I guess is my question.
I would object.
Basis.
I think the defense counsel is trying to get into the nature or the substance of the communication, which would be hearsay.
I'll rephrase it, all right? Is it normal on every time you get a call for EMTs to go? What's the practice of the other police? When did EMTs get sent out?
I would assume, I can only assume that it was, if they were sent before I had radioed in that there was a man lying on the floor, that they might have received a 911 from a neighbor stating the same thing, that there was a person injured.
Okay. Just so we're clear, do you have your report with you by any chance? Just happen to have it, huh? I guess it's page 2 of the report you wrote that night. Can you tell us when the EMTs got there, exactly when you got there, and exactly when they got there?
You want to know the exact times they came?
Yeah. Well, it's Patrolman Twist and the EMTs. How soon after you get there does he get there?
I can't say exactly. I would say it was approximately about a minute.
Right, you've got 1 minute down in your report, right? And then you've got the EMTs coming into the house 1 minute after him. Correct?
Let me find it.
I'm sorry, I thought you had it. Let me show you mine.
You say page 2?
Yeah. Well, it's not, I can't read you right, maybe 3. Why don't you just let the jury know what you wrote down that night in regards to when people went into the house there.
Yes, I put Patrolman Twist at 22:16 and the 2 EMTs at 22:17.
And you were 22:50, so you're there 10:50, was it 10:16, EMTs at 10:70?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. No other questions?
Patrolman Scaccia. Just for clarification purposes, these notations you make into your log, do you stop in the middle of the act whenever you see somebody, check your watch and write them down, or is it something that you reformulate from what happened?
I did that later when I had time to. Right at the beginning, I didn't have time to do that.
Okay. Now, when the defense attorney asked you, did you make any attempts to determine what kind of wound this was, or any attempts to find where the paper towel come from? Is that part of your job in watching the scene?
No.
Is it standard practice for Derry Police Department or other police departments to call in the state police to process a crime scene?
Yes, it is.
Was it your responsibility or function or anything along those lines to secure this candelabra or the candelabra that was in the photographs?
No, not for myself.
No further questions.
Let me step down, thank you.
Would you state your name and spell your last name, please?
My name is Mark Myrdeck, Myrdeck.
How are you employed?
Employed by the Department of Safety, Division of State Police.
What's your rank?
My rank is trooper.
Trooper? How long have you been employed with the state police?
Approximately 8 years.
And what's your present assignment?
I'm currently assigned to the Major Crime Unit in Congo.
And what was your assignment back in May of 1990?
I was assigned as a troop detective out of Troop B in Milford.
And are your duties different in these two assignments?
They are slightly different. As a troop detective, I covered a wide variety of crimes, up to homicide. Basically, in a major crime unit, we deal with just that. Major crimes, most oftentimes homicide.
Okay. I'm going to draw your attention to May 1st, 1990.
Yes.
And actually, May 2nd, 1990. Did you have any involvement in the processing of a crime scene on that day?
Yes, I did.
What time did you arrive at the crime scene?
Approximately 2 a.m. on May 2nd.
And where was it?
It was on Misty Morning Drive in Derry.
Who was present when you arrived? What was going on?
Present at the time that we arrived as a unit was mostly the Derry Police Department and members from the Attorney General's office were there at the scene on Misty Morning Drive.
How many state police officers were there?
There was myself, Corporal Eastman, Corporal Kimball, Trooper Kelly, and Lieutenant Barthelmess arrived about the same time or a short time after.
And what did you understand the role of the state police was going to be that night?
We were there to process the crime scene.
What do you mean by processing a crime scene?
We were there to make sure that it was secure, then to gather any evidence of any type that would be related to this crime.
Trooper Myrdeck, have you had any training in the processing of crime scenes?
Yes, I have.
Just very briefly, tell us what your training is.
I attended the Mass State Police Homicide School, a 2-week course at the Mass State Police Academy. I attended a course, 40-hour course put on by the FBI at Police Energy Training in Concord, dealing with processing of crime scenes, diagramming, collecting physical evidence of all types, latent prints. And I've had what I call on-the-job training or in-service training with the department in photographing and diagramming, as well as being involved in processing approximately 10 or so crime scenes itself.
Whose investigation, the homicide investigation, whose was it, the state police or Derry's?
Derry.
And was the function, as I understand it, just for the state police to come in and do the crime scene processing?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Is that typical of them to do with the local police departments?
That oftentimes happens, yes.
What was your assignment on the morning of May 2nd?
I was assigned to gather evidence, collect the evidence, document that, and to write an overview, as we call it, of the scene, a general description of what the scene looked like.
And who was your superior on this?
Would have been Corporal Eastman.
And when you say write an overview, tell me a little bit more what you mean by that.
What I do is basically put on paper, in a report form, describing the scene as it was that night, as particular as it can be done. That's done to later on refresh our memory and to describe it for the case as to what it was.
And I assume it's done before anything's moved as you find the scene.
Yes, it is.
And when you say gather and document all the evidence, what's the purpose and how do you go about doing that?
Evidence is determined by either finding it by some means, either latent prints or observing it in some way. And what is determined to be pertinent at the time is noted, it's photographed, and then it is documented as evidence by either initialing it, as in this case, my initials with the number, and then maintaining its custody for a later date to be presented in court if needed.
You said originally that you wanted to make sure the scene was secure. What do you mean by that and why would you do that?
We want to make sure that the integrity of the scene is maintained at all times, in that we don't want it to be destroyed or altered in any way. We want that to maintain that we know who was on the scene at what time, if anything was touched or moved, who did that, so that the basic integrity of the scene is not damaged at all, if possible.
And did you make that determination on this crime scene?
Yes.
And what did you determine?
We determined that upon arrival, the Derry Police Department had secured that scene until we arrived at approximately 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. After you determined it was secure, what was the next thing that you did?
The next thing that I was involved in was being briefed by Corporal Eastman as to what was entailed or what we were going to be handling at that scene, which was, first of all, the assignments were handed out. We were given a brief description of the residence as he saw it and as it was described to him. With that information, the first thing that's done is photographs are taken, and I remained outside the residence until pretty much all of that initial documentation had been done.
What time would you say you first entered the premises?
Approximately maybe 2:30 or 3 o'clock. I'd have to refer to my notes exactly, I'm not sure.
I don't think we need to, as long as you're comfortable with that approximate time.
I am, Corporal Eastman was with Captain Jackson at the time.
Okay. I might approach the witness and go behind and get this diagram, Your Honor. I'm going to show you a diagram that has been marked State's Exhibit 48. Can you tell me what it is that we're looking at?
If you guys missed it, we are getting some more poster boards. I know that you were crying, thinking of missed opportunities with science fairs, but we're going to get some poster boards. And I was really hoping she wasn't going to take that poor fella out with her shoulder pads.
Yeah, when we get it right side up.
Yes, this would be an overview of the residence, the lower level of the residence, as it would have been that evening, May 2nd.
Your Honor, the parties have agreed to admit this. I might set it up at this time. Can all of the jurors see it from the sheets? Trooper Myrdeck, basically just roughly describe what we're looking at for the jury.
Well, stating where it says entryway, that would be the entryway into the condo, which was number 4E, which would have been the last of a set of 5 in that building complex at Missing Morning Drive. You enter into that residence into a foyer, a hallway. To the left is a stairway with a landing to the top or upper level of the residence. Straight ahead is what I call an open concept living room and dining area, which was wall-to-wall carpeted. And as you move off to the right, the kitchen area, and there was a small bathroom as well off to the entryway to the hall.
Does this fairly represent where all of the entryways and wall partitioning rooms were the night that you saw it?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay, and when you look at the doors as they open, as they appear to be opened, does that represent the direction accurately that they open and close?
Yes.
As best as you recall.
Yes, it does.
Just briefly describe for me, when you entered into that area marked entryway, what you saw there.
Again, this was the entryway is described as a hallway or foyer, if you will. It's covered by a light-colored tile flooring. Straight ahead, as you went into the residence, where the wall breaks, where it says closet, and about halfway down the wall of the staircasing, somewhere in that area, it broke from the tile to a wall-to-wall carpeting section of the living area or dining area.
Okay. Why don't I just point, is that the general area that you're talking to?
Yeah, somewhere in that area there. Directly ahead, as you looked into the residence, standing in the entryway, as you came in, was a floor mat as you entered into the residence. To the immediate left of that, near the landing of the stairway that went upstairs, was a brown portfolio, business portfolio. There were two pens that marked what appeared to be footprints that were left on that tile floor. They were left there so that no one would disturb those footprints, so that we knew they were there. They were difficult to see real quickly without looking at them. Moving again into the room, partially just onto that carpet was what was the body of a male dressed in a gray type business suit, laying face down.
Okay. I'm going to show you a picture that's been admitted as State's Exhibit 5. Is that the position of the body that you recall it when you entered the foyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Between the legs of this person, I see something that's brown. What was that?
It would have been a brown leather wallet, man's wallet.
Okay. Is that a piece of evidence that you collected?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And did you ever have an opportunity to look inside that wallet?
Yes, I did.
Was there any money in it?
No, there was not.
When you entered the condominium, did you inspect the doorway area at all?
Yes, I did.
And why did you do that?
To look for any signs of any forced entry or damage to that door.
And did you observe anything?
Well, there was, the doors were intact, both doors.
Tell me what you might observe that would indicate to you that there was some kind of forced entry.
You would normally see what I would identify as pry marks or scratchings or dents if it was caused by a heavy object, usually in the area of either the deadbolt lock or the doorknob. And sometimes that might even be seen on the storm door, which was present in this residence, but there were no markings of any type like that.
Now, as you moved into the living room area, can you describe for me briefly what you saw in that area?
Moving on past into the living room area was basically to the, what I would call the east wall, or to the left side, bottom of the living area, was a home entertainment center with a small table to the left side of that. That home entertainment center, as I described it, would have been a shelf for TV, VCR, and stereo, is what I refer to as a home entertainment center. There were items on the floor in front of that home entertainment center. The VCR had been removed from what appeared to be the middle shelf and was on the floor with the cord still attached to the back of this entertainment center, if I will. In front of that was one empty compact disc holder, which the door appeared to have been either broken off or fallen off. That was empty. And there was just a drawer with numerous items also laying on the floor in front of that home entertainment center.
How would you generally describe the condition of the entire downstairs area, that living room dining room area?
I would describe it as must or messed in some way.
Okay. I'm going to show you a bunch of pictures that have been marked States Exhibit 7 through 15. They've been admitted by the parties. Will you just flip through them and just give me a brief description of what they are?
The first one, which would be Exhibit 7.
Sure, we can do that. Excuse me. Take those back. Give those back to you. And I'll ask you again, just a brief description of what you're looking at.
First photograph marked Exhibit 7 would be the area described as the stairway or the landing as you enter into the left of that hallway. Exhibit 8 is a photograph of the living area as it was that evening. Exhibit 9 is another photograph standing in the hallway looking into the living and dining room area, which depicts that well. Exhibit 10 is a photograph standing in the dining area looking into the living area. Exhibit 11 is another photograph standing from the dining room area, just an opposite view of the living area. Exhibit 12 is a photograph of some items in the living room area that were or appeared to have been placed by the atrium door, which entered out onto the back deck. Exhibit 13 is a photograph depicting that home entertainment center as I described it with those items on the floor. Exhibit 14 is again another picture of that living room area. And 15 is another photograph of that living area.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, would you like to see the pictures?
Sure, I know you just, why don't you just give them the whole, let them just pass it along.
If you could look at them, let's start one plunge on this end. Just look at them quickly. The witness will be speaking about them individually. Okay, moving to the kitchen area. Can you describe what the kitchen looked like when you were on?
The kitchen area is off the dining area. The kitchen is a longer, smaller, thin kitchen, as I described it. It had linoleum flooring, wooden cupboards on two sides, your left and right, with the refrigerator on your immediate left. You travel down with cupboards and countertops on your left side, and on your right side would have been countertops, cupboards, and a sink. I'm sorry, straight ahead would have been a window looking out to the front of the residence.
What was the condition of the kitchen?
It was fairly neat. There were some items that appeared to have been disturbed from the cupboards. As you entered into the kitchen to your immediate left after the refrigerator was a lower cupboard that appeared to have been opened, and possibly some items that were sitting on the counter, Tupperware pots that appear, or bowls that were sitting on top of the counter. On the opposite side was a large pizza plastic cup that was filled with, or half filled with water, sitting in the sink with a empty paper towel tube also in that area.
I'll show you two pictures that have been marked as States Exhibit 17 and 18. In a sentence, tell me what they are, please.
They are pictures that represent the kitchen area that evening.
Okay. And is that how you saw the kitchen the night that you processed the crime scene?
Yes, ma'am.
That's an accurate representation.
Yes, it is.
Okay. May I show the pictures to the jury, Your Honor?
All right.
First, show them to the defense. Is there more than one window in the kitchen or just one?
Just one.
And where did that window look out into?
It would have looked out of the front of the residence onto a front lawn area and to the driveway or entryway into that cul-de-sac.
Was there a door in the living room?
Yes, there was.
Where was it leading out to?
It led out onto a deck out in the back of the residence.
When you began processing the crime scene, was the door open or closed?
It's partially open.
Okay, how much was it open?
Probably an inch or so, maybe a little more than that. It was obvious that it was open.
I'll show you 3 pictures that were marked State's Exhibit 19, 20, and 16. Starting with 19 and 20, can you tell me what they are, please?
These 2 photographs show that atrium door leading out onto the deck. This would be from the deck looking at the residence.
And what is it that you see at the top of the picture in the door?
That's the curtain that was on the inside of the door that seemed to have gotten stuck up in that door, holding it open.
Okay.
That small distance.
Was that like that when you first arrived on the scene?
Yes, it was.
I'm going to show you State 16. What is that we're looking at?
That is a white piece of fiber that was similar to the fiber that was located in the living room, as I described, possibly from a pillow, with a black strand of another fiber hanging from that off the deck, the west side of the deck.
Okay, thank you. Let's get back to the kitchen area for just a moment. Did you collect any evidence from the kitchen area when you processed the crime scene?
Yes, I did.
And what evidence did you seize?
It was described as a butcher block knife set. It was a butcher block with a set of knives that would be held in that. There was a set of knives with one knife missing, and that set also included a pair of scissors.
The missing knife that matched the rest of that set, did you find it anywhere in the condominium unit?
No,
Okay, it wasn't anywhere in the kitchen?
no, ma'am.
I'll show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 47 for ID. I'm going to ask you to tell me what's in the bag, please. You don't need to throw it out.
It would be that butcher block set of knives with one slot missing a knife.
And all of the knives that were present in the apartment that day are in the butcher block.
Yes.
I'd ask that State's Exhibit 47 be admitted into evidence.
Okay.
Just like to show it to the jury. Just like to show it to the jury, Aaron. Now, what is it that I now have all over my hands that was on that butcher block?
It's latent dusting print powder.
Okay. Was that on it when you first arrived?
No, it was not. It was clean.
So at some point they dusted for fingerprints and that was one of the items?
Yes.
Okay. Where was that butcher block actually located in the kitchen?
As I described the kitchen earlier, standing in the entryway looking in, it would have been to the left-hand side on the countertop, probably halfway down that counter along the back. There was a photograph of some Tupperware bowls that would have been just behind that area.
Did you at some point go up and search the upstairs?
Yes, I did.
Okay, can you describe for me the general layout, just very briefly?
Travel up the stairway from the entryway to a landing. Directly to your immediate center or to the left would have been the entryway to the master bedroom. To the right, moving down the hallway, would have been an entryway into the bathroom, which also had an entryway into the master bedroom. And as you continue down the hall to the right, there was a small linen closet and then what I described as a spare bedroom to the front of the residence at the end of the hallway.
Now, speaking about the master bedroom, what was the condition of the master bedroom?
It was, again, a mess. It appeared to have been ransacked or gone through.
show you pictures that have been marked, states 21 through 24. Just in a line, flip through all of them, please, and tell me what they are.
These photographs depict the master bedroom as it was that night.
In those photographs, we see clothing and drawers open. Is that the condition that it was in when you first saw it?
Yes, it was.
And show it to the jury.
All right, I haven't figured out, is this cameraman trying? Is he not realizing he's showing the jury, or she? Could be, because he keeps like going over there and then moving, but then going back. He or she really wants to see these pictures. And we're not going to, not yet anyway. I don't know that we will. We don't need to. Betty's victims they were kind of brutal. He's a honey badger. Maybe. Also, this guy on the stand, he either needs a Kleenex or he needs rehab. Just saying. Well, Lavi, we watched Eileen Wuornos. She was labeled America's first female serial unaliver, but we know that's not true because we've covered some women from the late 1800s and early 1900s that were serial unalivers for 100%. But during the Eileen Wuornos trial, the camera was like always on the jury. They never always were focused on the jury. It was crazy. What's up, Christine? Thank you for being a member for 16 months. That is a long time. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You're over there just growing like a weed. Christine is doing quite well on her. Christine has a YouTube channel. She streams live trials. She does live shows, which get kind of spicy. But you should all check her out. Christine Fortunato is her channel name. All right. I'm going to hit play. Sorry, I'm not talking that much. I'm really trying to save my voice. So I don't know for what, but I just am.
State's Exhibit 24. You see two pillows on the bed that appear not to have pillowcases
Yes.
on them. Okay, and the other two pillows that are on the bed do appear to have pillowcases on them.
Yes.
Do the two with pillowcases, do those cases match the two that were found in the living room area?
Yes, they do.
And going to the bathroom area, can you describe the condition of the bathroom?
The bathroom is divided into two sections. There's a front section with a sink and a linen closet. The back section divided by a door is a toilet area, a sink, and a shower bath combination with the linoleum floor.
And what was the general condition of the bathroom?
It was disheveled. There were some items that appeared to have been out of place there.
Did you see anything that was located on the sink area?
Yes, I did.
What was that?
It was a jewelry box that was open.
Was there anything in the jewelry box?
It was empty for the most part.
I'll show you what's been marked State's Exhibit 25 and ask you to tell the jury what's in that picture.
This would be the entryway to the bathroom off the master bedroom.
And what is shown in State's Exhibit 26?
This would be the jewelry box that was sitting on the sink in the first half of the bathroom area.
In both of these pictures, we see some blue towels. Did those match any other towels any other towel you saw in the house?
There's some blue towels on the floor just under the doorway, and those appear to be similar in color and in design as the one that was on the floor downstairs.
And where downstairs was the one on the floor that we're speaking about?
Near the victim's head and shoulder area.
Can I show the jury your room? And the third room, what was that upstairs?
I'm sorry, did you say the third room?
The third room, yeah.
That would have been the spare room to the front of the residence.
Okay. And what condition was that spare room in?
It was neat. Nothing appeared to be out of place in that room.
I'll show you what State's Exhibit 28. Can you tell me if that represents the condition of that room?
Yes, it does. That would be a photograph taken standing inside the room.
Did you also do a search of the basement area of the house?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what was the condition of the basement?
It was not, didn't appear to be messed in any way. It was appeared to be a storage area for other items as a basement would be.
If you were going to enter this condominium unit from the outside into the basement, describe the path that you would take from inside, outside to in.
On the west wall of the building, condo 4E, which would have been at the end, there's a bulkhead which opens both doors, and you would have had to have entered through that bulkhead if it was unlocked. It would have been locked from the inside. Down a stairway, wooden staircase to a wooden door, hollow wooden door with no lock into the basement area.
Okay. And then if you were to proceed from there up into the condominium unit, what would you pass there?
Pass through the main portion of the basement area, which was clear path, up to a stairwell, wooden stairwell that led to the top landing area, through a door with no lock into the dining area or living area.
So of those three doorways that you would pass through, the only one that you observed that had a lock would have been the bulkhead.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you make a determination on whether the bulkhead was locked or unlocked?
It was unlocked.
I'm going to show you three pictures that are States 30, 31, and 29. You just tell me quickly what they are, please.
Photographs of the basement in different areas that day.
Okay. Do those represent all of the entrances from the bulkhead door up to the condo
Yes,
unit
they,
itself.
yes, they do.
May I show the jury on? Did you examine the entryways into the cellar?
Yes, I did.
And again, why did you do that?
I was mainly interested for signs of forced entry again. I concentrated that first search on the doorway from the bulkhead area.
And did you see any kinds of forced entry, marks that would indicate forced entry?
No, there were none. That door did not have a lock on it. There were some scrape marks, or what appeared to might have been pry marks of some type on the door casing to the left, but they really had no value because there were no marks on the door itself.
Okay, so we're talking about the door that you reach as you come into the bulkhead and you go down the cement stairs.
Right, it's a hollow wooden door, very cheap type wooden door.
Did it have a lock or did not have a
It
lock?
did not have a lock.
And I'm going to show you two final pictures. They're marked states 32 and 33. Can you tell me what they are, please?
They're photographs that depict the outside of building 4E with that bulkhead.
Both of them are.
Both of them, yes.
Yeah, can I show them quickly to you? All right, after you completed, let me ask you this, how long did it take you, would you say, from the point you began the processing of the crime scene until the point you ended?
It took most of the day. Again, I'd have to look at the notes of the time we left the residence, but I believe it sometime after 4 o'clock, May 2nd in the afternoon.
Did you participate at all in another portion of processing the crime scene?
Yes, I did.
And what was that?
It was a search of the outside of the residence and of a field area that led up the site embankment to a professional building.
Why was it that you were assigned to search that area?
Some evidence had been located a distance away from the condominium in this parking lot area, which was across that field. So it was important that we covered that area in the field.
Did you actually see that evidence in place?
No, I did not.
Or was it described to you, or were you to understand where it was?
I knew its position because it was marked after it was collected. So I knew the position of the evidence.
What was found in that area?
There was a jewelry box in 2 parts. There was some tissue or paper towel type items. And I believe there was a knife of some type found also in that area.
I'll show you what's been marked States Exhibit 49. To ask you what that is.
That's an accurate diagram of the outside of that entire area. Misty Morning Drive and the professional building at PB Road Annex.
Your Honor, the parties have agreed that this will be admitted into evidence as a full exhibit as well.
Take it, Mark.
About 10 minutes, Your Honor. We might.
We'll break for lunch now, ladies and gentlemen, and resume around 1:45. Please don't discuss the case in the jury room among yourselves.
All right.
Before you take your seat, can you just show the jury what area you searched?
The area we searched would have been around set of condominiums out the back, and in this area of the field, in an L-shaped type pattern out this way.
Thank you. Did you locate anything during your search?
Yes, we located numerous items in that field area.
Is there anything in particular that you have since learned is of some relevance?
Yes, at one point, while doing the search of that field, we walked along in a line pattern. There were some dairy officers and myself. To cover that area, we did what I call a grid search. We walked in a line so that we could cover that field and any items that might have been seen. The plan was that if an item was located, we would stop. I would look at the item to see if it was pertinent. If not, or if it was, we would either collect it or move on, depending on what the item was.
Okay, and what if somebody else found something that was pertinent? Then what would happen?
The whole line would stop. The whole line of police officers would stop where they were, and I would go over and make a determination and look at the item to see if it was pertinent.
Who was in charge of the search?
I was.
And how many officers would you say just approximately were searching with you?
Approximately 6.
How many items did you actually either yourself stop at or other officers stopped at?
There were only 2 items that I recall we stopped at and paid particular attention to.
And what were those items?
One was a cigarette that was located towards the parking lot area of the Dairy Professionals building, and the other was a latex rubber glove.
The grass that you described that was beyond the grass, how high would you say the grass was that day?
It was probably ankle high and a little more. It was natted field type grass.
Now, approximately where did you find the latex glove?
It would have been right here in the short grass area. There was a dumpster located in this area, and it was off to the grassy side.
Was there anything located near the glove?
No, it was not.
Was there any item located? Was there a trash receptacle someplace in that area?
Yes, the dumpster, the trash dumpster was located on the parking lot of the professional building alongside the grass area.
Would you please make a rectangle to represent the dumpster and an X with a circle to represent the glove?
The dumpster would have been in this area here.
Would you color it in for us?
And the glove would have been found in this area here, in the grass area.
You got the color.
You said that, well, let me go back.
What's up,
Did
Sticky?
you locate the glove or did some other officer that was searching?
Another officer located that glove.
And did you at some point observe it?
Yes, I did.
How was it that you were brought over to see the glove?
The officer stopped the line and called me over to take a look at the glove.
Okay, what did the glove look like?
It was a rubber latex type surgical glove that you commonly see in doctors using in hospitals or EMTs using in the treatment of emergency victims or whatever.
Okay, and what else did you observe on it other than?
The glove was, it was wet. It was either due to a dew, maybe that night, or a mist, or it had rained lightly that night, very, very lightly, and it was wet possibly because of that. It had sand on it. It was sandy, but it was not buried in the dirt, so to speak.
Okay. And what did you do after you first saw it?
I observed it, laying in its position. I then looked at it to see if there was any other type of marks on it, if there was any stains of any type, and made a determination at that point, being that it was near the medical building. There was a medical building located at the professional building, and there were gynecologist offices, a dentist office were there. And it's close proximity to the dumpster. I had no other information at that point. I determined it was not pertinent.
Okay, and when you made a decision it wasn't pertinent, what did you do with it?
I discarded it in a trash receptacle. It was either a plastic bag or a paper bag. I don't recall which.
Other than the glove, did you pick up, you or the officers pick up any other items as you went through the field area?
Yes, we did.
What did you do with those?
They were discarded if they were not pertinent. They were cans, bottles, glass, and paper that had blown, I would say, through this field over the course of time. And those were picked up so that we would not go over the same things again and again as we went through that field, because we went one way back and then in a different direction, and we wanted to make sure we had covered that field as good as possible.
Now, what time were you doing this search on May 2nd?
I don't know exactly. It would have been late morning in the daylight hours, probably before noontime.
Did you ever have occasion to write a report that related to that glove?
Yes, I did.
When was that?
It was in July of last year.
Why did you write a report on it?
I was contacted by Corporal Eastman, who was my supervisor. He asked me if I recalled locating a glove.
Let me stop you. When he asked you that question, did you have a clear recollection of the glove?
I had to think about it, and I thought for a few minutes, thinking about the scene that day, and I did recall picking up this glove.
Okay, go ahead.
He asked me if I recalled that, and I did explain to him what I had done, that I did recall picking up the glove that wasn't pertinent at the time, and that I discarded it. He then asked me to write a report on that so that was documented, and I did that on July 31st, I believe I signed that report.
Before he asked you the question about whether you recalled the glove, did he tell you why he wanted the information?
No, he did not.
I have nothing else.
You know, the big difference between this trial and Betty's trial so far is the attorneys don't look like they absolutely want to unalive each other. They're like helpful and talk to each other as adults, not twin. So I don't know if there's any fireworks later, but so far everybody is getting along.
That's it.
There's been some squeaks,
Your primary job
but no
is,
mannequins.
collecting the evidence.
Yes, sir.
There are a number of police officers at the scene, and so it doesn't get too confused. One person is designated to sort of mark in the evidence and make sure everything's marked incorrectly.
That's correct.
If I could take you back to the scene in the foyer of the house for a moment. Okay. You talk about the things you found there. You found a towel, a blue towel, I believe.
Yes, that was in the dining room area on the carpet.
Is that the towel that's shown in State's Exhibit number 5, next to Mr. Smart's head, under it?
Yes, it would have been.
Okay. And as I understand it, you took that towel and later, at some point in time, compared it to towels in the upstairs bathroom.
I observed the towels in the upstairs bathroom along with that one.
Okay, you came to the conclusion that they were the same color and same style of towels.
Yes, sir.
Did you compare it to towels in the downstairs bathroom to eliminate those as a source?
Yes, the towels in the downstairs bathroom were different color. They were a maroonish. The color coordination of that bathroom was different. It was a maroonish or a light red color, if I recall.
As an investigator, would you feel comfortable saying that it's the most likely conclusion that towel is part of the set of the upstairs bathroom?
I would say that's a possibility.
Now, what did you do with that towel? Do you know?
That towel was placed in an open paper bag so that it could dry, be allowed to air dry. And that's how it probably would have been transported to the lab that way.
Okay. Did you send that up to the state lab?
That's where the evidence was logged in, yes.
The state lab has a fellow who does blood deposit analysis, don't they, up there?
Yes.
Kevin McMahon, I believe is his name.
Yeah, there are a couple, yes.
Do you know whether anyone ever asked Mr. McMahon to take a look at that towel, to see if he could come to any conclusions about how the blood was deposited or what had been done with that towel?
I know that as we signed the evidence in, and I don't recall who the person was that was taking the evidence, it might have been Kevin, I'd have to check the log. But that would have been explained to him. We try to go over every piece of evidence to explain to them what it is and what it represents, so that they have an understanding as to where it came from. So that would have been discussed at some point with whoever took that in.
I guess my question is, do you know one way or the other whether or not a blood deposit analysis was done on that towel?
No, sir, I do not.
No, there was also a ring found, wasn't there, on the ground?
Yes,
And I believe you took that into evidence.
yes, sir.
I'm going to show you two things. One is Defendant's Exhibit A, which is a photograph. The other is Defendant's Exhibit B, which is a small bag. I'm going to ask you to take a look at those and then tell the jury what they are.
Photograph would have been a photo taken after the body was removed. The wallet was between the legs, which I identified earlier. The ring and the keys were under the body. They were not observed until the body was removed.
Were they in the position as they are in that photo there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And this ring would represent the ring that I collected as evidence with my initials that day.
Okay, then that is the ring you collected in the photo depicts the area as you saw it once the body was moved?
Yes, sir.
I'd move those into evidence.
No objection.
All right. Publish the photograph. I just asked members of the jury to pass it around. There was some paper, we'll go on while the jury's looking at. There was some paper towels you mentioned. Can you tell us where that was?
There was a paper towel to the right side of the body on the carpet. It was in close proximity to that. That was the only paper towel that I actually observed.
If I were again to go to states number 5, I believe it is, and show you the picture, is this where you saw it as it is in this photograph?
Yes, sir. That should be the paper towel.
Was it crumpled up in the manner it is right there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you folks do anything with the paper towel?
I believe that was collected as well as marked as evidence.
And again, my question is, I understand it was collected afterwards. Do you have any knowledge whether anyone in the lab tested it for gunshot residue, blood, whether it used to wipe something, anything like that?
I don't know exactly what tests were done on that particular item.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
You direct?
I have no further.
Make that announcement, thank you.
Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
Guy Kimball,
Can you spell your last name for the record?
Kimball,
How are you presently employed?
employed by the Department of Safety, Division of State Police for the state of New Hampshire,
And how long have you been with the state police?
approximately 18 and a half years.
What's your current rank?
Corporal,
What's your present assignment?
I'm assigned to the Investigative Services Major Crime Unit.
In May of 1990, was that your assignment?
Yes, it was.
Were you involved in processing the crime scene on May 2nd at Easton Morning in the area?
Yes, I was.
What was your responsibility at that time?
It was in conjunction with the initial crime scene, the apartment, as well as the secondary crime scene at Dairy Meadows Professional Park.
What time were you involved with the part of the crime?
It did get blurry there for a minute, but it's 1991. So, but yes, too blurry for your hairdo and mustache commentary. The guy that was on the stand Tuesday, he literally looked like he went home and unsnapped his hair and then just put it on the shelf, like, and then just had that little square piece that sticks up on top of Lego pieces' heads for you to snap their hair on, or at least that's how it used to go. But, and this guy has straight up put a bowl on his head and cut it. What is that? What's happening? I thought women had crazy dudes back then. I don't know, but thank you for being a member for 1 month, Sir Frank. And it's really good to see you. It's been a minute. Hair of the dog. He does He does. Spock cosplayer. Oh dear. I have something for you. Let me see if I can remember how to do it. Is this what you wanted the other day? And you said make them small and make me big. I'm not going to stay like this. But no, I don't know how to put it back. I think it's this one. There. Shoo. That's close. Crazy. It's been more than a month, but YouTube is, yes. Some days, most days. All right, guys, this is our last witness of the day. And I know this has been kind of tedious, especially because the way that they have to pass out the photos. That was kind of nice in the Betty trial. They just like, here's a big poster board. But you got to get through all the stuff, right? It's not always all exciting. But so we got like 10 minutes left, and then that'll be it for today.
Processing that involved Gary Meadows' professional part.
It would have been approximately 5 o'clock in the morning.
And who was it that directed you to have some involvement in that part of the search?
I believe that would have been Corporal Eastman at the time.
What was it you were supposed to do?
There was evidence along the edge of the parking lot which appeared consistent with the apartment.
Now, did you find that evidence, or were you told that it was there?
I was told it was there.
And when you went out to where that evidence was located, what did you see?
Along the outside edge of the parking lot by the building were 2 cardboard jewelry boxes open. There was a plastic jewelry box. There were 2 pieces of napkin which were torn, and there was a plastic handled knife.
Okay. And were they visible to the eye when you first saw them?
Yes, they were.
And nothing was covering them?
The napkins and that were covered by a box. There had been a wind that morning. I believe the cardboard boxes were covered also to prevent them from moving any further.
All right, but those cardboard boxes, as you understood, were placed there.
Yes, they were.
I'm going to show you a picture that's in Mark State's Exhibit 34. Please tell me what that is.
And there would be a view of the Derry Meadows professional building from the area of Misty Morning.
And I'm going to give you 2 that are marked State's Exhibit 35 and 36. And can you please tell me what those pictures show?
The 2 pictures denote the jewelry boxes and the knife as they're located off the parking lot.
Okay, can you just tell me which one is the knife and with the number in the back of the picture?
With number 36 would indicate the knife stuck in the ground.
Okay. Now, when you say stuck in the ground, is that how you located it? Is that how you observed it on May 2nd?
Yes, that's correct.
I'm going to show you what's been marked States 39 for ID. Can you just unwrap it, take it out, and tell me what it is?
It would be the knife from the crime scene found at Derry Meadows.
And is that the knife that the jury viewed that is in State's Exhibit 36?
Yes, it is.
I'd ask that the knife be admitted into evidence.
Okay. Rerun.
You can approach the dining room with me. there's a pointer. It's pointer right behind it. Can you point out for me on this diagram where it was you located the knife?
Then approximately, you said here.
And how about the jewelry boxes?
It would have been just a little bit further into the grass area from this point.
Okay, and how about the paper towel?
Again, in the same vicinity.
How far approximately is it from, say, the corner of this parking lot to 4E Misty Morning Drive?
Approximately 280 feet.
And mark for me the spot on this diagram with a circle that you saw the jewelry boxes, where you saw the jewelry boxes.
Approximately that area there.
And can you mark the exhibit number of the knife in the area where you? A little bigger. There we go. Okay, thank you. Other than processing this area and gathering this evidence, did you take part in any other part of the crime scene processing?
Yes, I did.
And what was that?
There were tire impressions to the rear of the building complex, which were documented by myself. I also assisted inside with the fingerprint processing of the apartment.
Did you take any photographs at the scene?
Yes, I did. I documented the interior of the scene and exterior by photographs.
Okay. Did you take photographs of any of the vehicles that were in the area?
Yes, I did. The victim's pickup truck was located in a parking space in front of the building, and I documented that photographically.
Okay. And when did you do that?
That would have been on the morning of the 2nd.
I'm going to show you what's been marked states Exhibit 37. What is that?
That would be a photograph of the pickup truck with the seat folded forward, depicting the materials behind the seat.
And what is behind the seat?
Basically, there were two large, I believe they're homemade speakers in boxes, one on each side of the back.
Describe for me what those speakers looked like a little bit more than that. What color were they?
It was a kind of a bluish carpet type material covering wood boxes with the speakers placed in them.
When you say bluish gray or a blue?
The best that I can say, probably a bluish green.
Okay. Does this picture fairly represent the speaker in the back seat of the truck?
Yes, it does.
I'd like to show it to the jury, Your Honor. Yeah.
Did you take the photos inside the house, sir?
Yes, I did.
Did you tell the people in the jury, when you go to a crime scene, and isn't there like a team that goes down there essentially from the major crime unit?
Normally, yes.
Can you tell the people in the jury how that works? And, do you go around taking photos by yourself, or are you with somebody as they collect evidence, that kind of thing?
We work in conjunction with each other. Each crime scene presents different problems. So in conjunction with the team that goes in, we decide how we're going to approach it, what methods we're going to use, and how we're going to do it.
On this particular case, Corporal Myrdeck, who testified earlier, said that he told us his job was to gather the evidence, mark and that kind of stuff.
That's correct.
Would he be, after you take photos, would he then gather the evidence? Then you move on to the next area where you take photos and you gather evidence. Is that how it works?
Basically, I would go through and attempt to document it completely on a continual basis as far as photographs and that. As I say, we work in conjunction with each other so as not to disturb evidence prior to collection time.
Okay, so the collecting guy wouldn't touch anything until he was sure you'd taken a photo of it.
That's correct.
So would he be with you as you took the photo and then he would come over?
Normally would not go through until afterwards.
I'm going to show you what's been marked. The state's exhibit number 5. Is this a photograph that you took, sir?
I believe so, yes.
Now I'm going to show you what's been marked as defendant's exhibit C. Okay, can you compare that? Have you ever seen this before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, why don't you tell us what that is?
And there's a candlestick holder which came from the apartment.
Okay, where was it found in the apartment?
It was located under the feet of the victim.
Okay, is that, again, what is shown in that photo, that state's number 5?
That's correct.
No further questions, sir. I move that this be marked as defendant's exhibit 4.
No objection.
Any microphone, sir?
No further questions.
Can you redirect?
There you go.
Make that happen, please.
Oh, stop. Sorry. That was very Beatles hairdo or monkeys. And I was like, in my mind, I just hear, hey, we're the monkeys. It's like, I don't know what a Turkish Kangal. Scarlet, aka Spawn of Satan. Yes. Yep, my oldest Dane right now, Tracy, is turned 10 in June. So seems like it's just all of a sudden they just like, I don't know, dreading it. I'm approaching a year since I lost his woman. And I just like, you just gotta hang in there, buddy. So that's where I'm at. So sorry that I was really quiet. Hopefully by the time we get back next week, whatever this is will be out. I don't know. I don't know if it's a change in the weather because it thinks it's fall here and it's not supposed to be. But I don't think I'll be here Monday because it's the holiday. And unless something happens, if my husband's not home, then I'll be here. But just count on Tuesday because, excuse me, I think he's actually going to be home. So on Tuesday, we get part 1 of one of the accomplices. And it is Patrick, but he goes by Pete Randall. So he will get part of his testimony. He's got two parts, I think, to his testimony. So we should start getting into the meat here, so to speak. I'm looking forward to their testimony because they were obviously involved in it. Billy Flynn is the one in the opening where at the beginning of the video, he's the one staring at the firearm. I'm surprised I haven't gotten in trouble for that yet. But he's the alleged one that she had the affair with, the alleged unaliver. So I'm not sure when we actually get to him. Let me look. So we get 2 parts with Pete Randall, and then it's like we go back to some officers. So we get we have a few witnesses in between before we get to the rest of the accomplices. So at least they're going to even it out, I guess. Yeah, that would be bad. I know what you meant. So that is on Tuesday, more than likely. I think I already even have it set up. But so, and if you are here and enjoying the long weekend ahead, be safe. Don't drink and drive and all that fun stuff. Have a great time. Do something fun. It's the last official summer weekend. But stick around because I do have my corn sweat video, because when, like I told you at the beginning, when I found out corn sweat was really real, it's just messed with me. So I made a little video, I made a little song about corn sweat. Yes, Monday is a holiday. I've had to tell so many people that Monday's a holiday. Monday is a holiday, at least in the States. Oops. Yes, Labor Day. So stick around and check out that, because that's my ode to summer and corn sweat. And I will be happy when corn sweat returns next summer. And I hope it stays around for a lot longer than it did here this year, because it's been 70 degrees here and 40 in the mornings. It's ridiculous. Sorry, that's not August weather. But anyway, you guys, I will see you guys all next week. Have a great weekend. Relax. Do something fun. And just enjoy whatever you're doing. How do I dare come? I am not ever an ex-Nebraskan. I just happen to live in Indiana. But I did not know about corn sweat surveying. I did not know that it was real. How could I have lived in Nebraska and Indiana all my life and not know this thing? So without further ado, here it is. And I will see you guys all next time.
Woke up tripping, skies were blue. Said this ain't right, there's no storm due. Stepped outside, shirt stuck to my chest. Not rain, not fog, it's corn at its best. Fields all standing like leafy men, perspiring hard again and again. Who knew stalks could sweat like that? Mother Nature needs a thermostat. Corn sweat's real, not a joke. So muggy you can nearly choke. Humidity, nah, it's plant perspiration. Midwest swamping the whole damn nation. Corn sweat dripping down my face. Welcome to the corniest place. It ain't just eating, it ain't just stew. It's that high moisture maize making soup out of you. Farmer grins from his tractor throne, says that's just the corn breathing on its own. I tried a fan, I tried some ice, but the air's so thick it's cooking rice. It's the only time I miss the snow, when sweet corn makes your armpits blow. I swear the ears are out to kill, turning July into a hot wet grill. Corn sweat's real, not a joke. So muggy you can nearly choke. Humidity, nah, it's plant perspiration. Midwest swamping the whole damn nation. Corn sweat dripping down my face. Welcome to the corniest place. It ain't just eating, it ain't just stew. It's that high moisture maize making soup out of you. Corn sweat is real, not a joke. So muggy you can nearly choke. Humidity, nah, it's plant perspiration. Midwest swamping the whole damn nation. Corn sweat dripping down my face. Welcome to the corniest place. It ain't just eating, it ain't just stew. It's that hot moisture maize making soup out of you.